Hi, you are joining me late afternoon in the South Wales valleys. We are off for another wild camp. Going to be a reasonably cold evening, -1, -2, something like that. So we are geared up for a luxury warm camp, using some new gear today. My Nordisk Svalbard 1 SI tent. I got a Rab Summit 900 sleeping bag. It's come from 8 to -26. I've got a thermal sleeping bag liner. I've got all the gear, hopefully, for a really warm, comfortable sleep. Getting away from my budget gear for a change. Although most of the stuff I've got is used. So we're in a bit of a new place. We are right next to the Giant's Bite at the moment, which is an old quarry. And we're heading up towards Twin Bryn-Bachan, and I'm hoping somewhere along the way we'll find somewhere to pitch a tent. So let's get moving, let's get back into the sunshine. The walk itself is a mixture of footpaths, common access land, little sweeps of private land, but it looks like there's permissive pathways here. If you use an app like Outdooractive or All Trails and stuff, where they will follow sort of known trails that aren't marked as a public footpath, this is a known trail that I'm on now, so if you tap your start point and your end point, it will take you along this path, and you can see it is well walked. It's a very distinct path, and there was a stile on the way in, so this path should take us pretty much to the trig point, and it's going to skirt around a craggy little outcrop that is common access land, but it looks like it's fenced off all the way around. But we might have a little nose in there to see if there is access somewhere, because it could potentially be a good little camping spot. I've not been up there before. I've been up to the main hill, but not this bit, so we'll definitely have a look at that. In terms of weight, backpack is just over 14 kilos, which isn't too bad. That includes a decent sized tripod, second action camera and a different tripod for that, water, food, although only a tiny bit of food. No stove, no cooking gear, anything like that. But obviously you have got that monster Rab sleeping bag in there, and that did compress down amazingly well. So I will definitely look forward to being nice and warm in that. If I'm cold in that sleeping bag, then clearly winter camping is completely beyond me, because there's no way I should be cold in that bag. Not with its rating, and tonight's not exactly Arctic conditions. More good news is at the wall. You'll see just behind me is the wall that surrounds that nice little craggy area, and it's broken in loads of places, and there's clearly foot trails going into it, so it doesn't look like there's any animals up there. Looks like it could be a potential camping spot if we want to drop down to it. So yeah, so far I'm glad I came out, because I was struggling, to be honest, with the motivation tonight, because I need to get back a reasonable time tomorrow, so I couldn't go on a long walk. Had to go somewhere where I was reasonably close to the car, so I can get back, get in the car and get home tomorrow. So I was kind of, do I bother, do I come out anyway? Especially because it was really grey all day. But now the sun is out, the trail is good, the pack doesn't feel too bad, and there's definitely new places to look at in terms of pitching that could be quite interesting. Yeah, you've got to really force yourself to get out sometimes, but as I always say, 99% of the time, once you've got out, you're always really glad that you did. So we've come up to the top of that crag, which we could kind of see on all of the walk to this point, and I cut back on myself to go up it, so you can see the route we've taken along there, and in the distance to the left of the sort of rocky, the Giant's Bite is where I parked the car. But sadly, the ground is really quite tufty up here, so there's a couple of places you could probably pitch a tent, but it's not ideal. Well, I'm glad I made the detour, because it's always interesting to actually see in real life a place that you've looked at on the map a few times. So this was always somewhere I was going to try and visit at some point, because it was a really prominent lump, falls away really sharply, crags marked on the OS map. So I definitely wanted to see how campable it is. And yeah, you could pitch a tent up here. So if we don't find anywhere better tonight, we can always head back here and pitch a tent. It might not be the smoothest pitch ever, but it's definitely doable. We've only got a small one-man tent tonight, so it should dip into a few little spaces up here. But yeah, when you're trying to wild camp and you're looking at OS maps, you can never guarantee what the ground's going to be like. Sometimes it's perfectly smooth grass, sometimes it's just real tufty stuff that we're walking through now. It's just unpredictable, but that's the beauty of doing it, really, is trying to find your own spots, find somewhere where no one else has camped before. And I can't imagine many people have wild camped up on this ridgeway before, so I think wherever we pitch, like, we might be one of the first. Temperature is dropping rapidly in the shade, so we're approaching the final bit of ascent now. That'll warm up a little bit, and then we'll see if there's anywhere to pitch a tent. So we've got this final bit of ascent on some rocky roads behind me up there, rocky paths. So yeah, hopefully we'll find somewhere we can pitch a tent. Well, we've made it to the trig point, 411 metres, twin Bryn Backen, but it doesn't look like the most promising place to wild camp, to be honest. Big gravel track going around it, cycle route right past the trig point, and then more of this really tufty grass. You could probably just about fit a tent here, but I'm not sure it's necessarily the best place I want to spend a night. So what I think I'm going to do is just mosey just over the top of the ridgeway, and then walk a little bit around the edge here to see if there's any potential spots sort of pitching on that side. And presumably the sunrise is going to be over there somewhere, so I might try and get some sort of views of that, although they do give it cloudy tomorrow. But yeah, it is now just gone 5:10, so I've got about another 40 minutes before the sun sets, then obviously got a bit of light after that. So really could do with finding somewhere to pitch sooner rather than later. It is pretty cold up here as well. Temperature's definitely dropping now. So yeah, let's go and see if we can find somewhere to pitch. I was hoping this would be a good place to pitch, but grass is just too long. But a lovely drop away, lovely crags and a great sunset view. Well, as cool as it is here, I don't think it's really a place I can pitch, sadly. Undoubtedly some amazing Instagram spots. Loads of crags off the edge of a sheer drop to stand on and take photos of and stuff, and take photos of yourself on. So yeah, if you're into Instagram and that kind of stuff, bit of social media, you want to share some nice photos like that, great peak to do. And a nice little tricky walk along the craggy edge to try and find somewhere to pitch a tent, but sadly nowhere really realistic to pitch a tent, and I'm also conscious that wouldn't have had any kind of sunrise use in there either. But yeah, a nice little distraction nonetheless. So I'm going to head back down. Pretty sure just going to head back down to the craggy spot I walked to earlier. So as I said at the time, not an ideal place to pitch a tent, but there's definitely one or two spots where I think it should be pretty okay just to pitch in. It wasn't too lumpy, and I think a lot of those little lumps should smooth out once you've got your body weight lying on it. So we've got about 20 minutes before sunset, so should hopefully get there just as the sun is setting. Well, the sun is set. We've done about 4.5 miles now, over 1,000 feet of ascent, and I'm feeling pretty good actually. Feels like the first time for a long time I've not felt ill. I haven't felt out of breath all the time. So I've got to definitely work on my fitness, but I feel like now at least I've got a fighting chance. So we are back at the crag, which we've been able to see since the moment we parked the car. And hopefully we'll find this pitch that's the right direction, so I'm not head down, and I can keep the door open looking south for the sunrise if we get one. Well, it's about 20 to 7. It is pretty cold up here. Must be getting close to freezing now, I'd have thought. The temperature's dropped really quickly. Yeah, tent went up absolutely fine. Hopefully there's not any horrific wind, because a lot of the pegs aren't in very well. It's quite rocky under the grass. Yeah, sleeping bag is huge and warm. This is just as well, because I'm not wearing many layers tonight. I've only bought some cheap stuff. I'm testing some new regatta stuff I got cheap in the sale, so yeah, I'm not wearing my warmest layers, but I knew I had an awesome sleeping bag, so there shouldn't be any problem at all. Really pleasant evening. Just a little breath of wind. Views are great, twinkling lights in every direction, so when it's properly dark I'll go out and do some night filming and stuff. But yeah, I'm just going to chill out in the tent, drink some amaretto from my hip flask, read a book, maybe catch up on a YouTube video. But yeah, I'm just going to really enjoy being in this luxurious sleeping bag, because it is absolutely huge and warm. So yeah, shouldn't have any problem sleeping tonight. packed away, left no traces ever. Not seeing anyone this morning, can't see anyone parked up at the little parking spot either, so just me by the looks of it, as long as that is my car still there. Always one of the fears of wild camping, particularly in areas you don't know very well, is how safe is your car going to be parked up. So it's always a relief to get back to the car and find it still there, so fingers crossed we'll find that today as well. That's a really nice tent to pack away, that one. Packs down to very, very little. Always a piece of cake to get back into the bag, and you can't say that of all tents. So no, I'm liking my Svalbard SI so far. Just next time I just need to pitch it properly. You could probably see from the leave no trace shot I did that the ground was extremely uneven, so very pitty. My head was in a bit of a pit all night, which wasn't the best thing to get good sleep. So let's make it back to the car. We might see something interesting on the way back. You never know. We'll wait and see. Well, it's been a really good camp. Really glad it came out. I was really uncertain as whether I was going to come out last night, so left it quite last minute. Tried somewhere new and it's all worked out really well. I mean, it wasn't the the best pitch in the world, but no, good to get out, good to get some fresh air, good to try somewhere new. So if you've made it this far, huge thanks for watching. I'm almost back to the car, so I can be home at a reasonable time, so everyone's going to be happy. Anyway, huge thanks for watching and all your support, and I'll catch you in the next one.